We move there and turn to this now. South Africans can finally breathe a sigh of relief, however, be it temporarily, after the Reserve Bank kept interest rates unchanged at 8.25%. It follows 10 consecutive rate hikes since late 2021. Newzroom Afrika business reporter Ntokozo Khumalo filed this report.
Easing inflation, reduced load shedding intensity and improved economic prospects saw the Reserve Bank hold steady on interest rate hikes.
I think that the big changer had been that load shedding had been less intensive than we had actually seen. That's the first thing. But the other was that the starting point for our growth forecast was higher because of the better outcomes that we actually had seen.
However, the governor warns that this does not mean the hiking cycle has peaked.
Has interest rate peaked? The answer is a resounding no. And as a good central banker, I will say to you, further than this, it depends on what happens to inflation. And so we have presented an inflation forecast. With this forecast, we expect that we would come back to the midpoint of the inflation target range in 2025. We continue to assess data and risk from meeting to meeting.
Deputy Governor Kuben Naidu also highlighted that the Reserve Bank's MPC has not discussed interest rate cuts as yet.
We didn't discuss cuts at this meeting. We didn't discuss when we're likely to cut or when we're likely to start cutting, because our objective today is to bring inflation down to 4.5 and to bring inflation down to 4.5 sustainably. We know that inflation expectations act with a lag. So while monetary policy acts with a lag, inflation expectations also react to a lag. When those are sustainably at 4.5, we can then begin to consider those kinds of things. So we think we're a very long way off from there.
The SARB kept its repurchase rates unchanged at 8.25%, with Kganyago concluding that the job is not yet done and the fight is still on. He, however, believes the economy has turned the corner. For Newzroom Afrika on Channel 405, I'm Ntokozo Khumalo in Johannesburg.